All right, back. I'll apologize to our...
Dude, I cussed them out yesterday. They speak Spanish. And they hung up.
Maybe they don't know.
Remove my number.
Or take
from
it off.
Whatever this is, because you're calling me multiple times a day from a different number every single time. Remove it, please. I don't know how you got it. It's honestly things I've ever dealt with in my life.
Yeah.
So where did we?
I just said, to be fair, Covington has been hurt.
Okay.
Do you just want to take it from there and to kind of go into the intro stuff?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Ready?
That is fair, but I wouldn't blame it all on Robert Covington.
No, it's not only on him, but it does help because he can do the three, he can space the floor, open up for Noel and for Okafor. So, I mean, that does hurt them a little bit. They need although TJ, that point guard, man, that rookie point guard's been playing really well.
He played for Arizona.
Yeah, yeah. There you go.
I know Ryan Lehmeyer is a fan of his, but you are listening to the Drive and Dish NBA podcast. Kevin Rayfuse is in Boston this week. Again, he is talking to Danny Ainge on tips on how the Sixers can rebuild like the Celtics. Speaking of the Celtics, we're going to be interviewing Keith Smith coming up here soon. But I am Tim Tompkins. Joined to me in front of me this time is our producer, Justin Kuzar.
What a shame about Coach Mack. He really helped me through my career and one of my favorite coaches and people of all time.
Chandler Parsons.
Yep.
Oh.
Chandler Parsons.
Boom.
Yeah, I figured you would like that. And I figured it was topical because, that's probably the biggest news in the NBA right now is Mikhail, being fired by the Rockets.
And we will spend a bit more time talking about that soon. But every week on the show, we like to read in 3, 2, 1. But every week on the show, we like to read a review we get on iTunes. And this week we have one from...
Yes, it's by Kwood89. It's titled Love This Pod with a basketball emoji, ! He says, let me say, as a basketball junkie, I feel this mix of humor, seriousness, but knowledgeable about the game. Would recommend this pod to anyone, but I have one question I haven't heard addressed on any pod or TV show. So we're going to bring this to you breaking, the only podcast talking about it. What will the Spurs do with Kyle Anderson? Keep putting out monster shows, 5 stars for sure. So what would you do with Kyle Anderson of these Spurs?
I mean, you just got to wait it out, man. He's on his second year right now. He was arguably the best player in Summer League this last year. Mm-hmm. He's got to work on his shot a little bit, but I mean, they're going to keep him and they're just keep playing him. I mean, a lot of their rosters are a bit older, and so his time will come. But if you look at the Spurs, they tend to prefer older guys over rookies and over younger players. So,
and if you're Kyle Anderson, just sit back and learn from some of the best.
Yeah, and I mean, having Kawhi Leonard to learn from isn't the worst thing in the world.
Agreed. Do you want to kick the news since I'm going to do it?
Yeah. So thank you so very much for that review on iTunes. If you go ahead and you leave us a review on iTunes, we really do appreciate it. It's not to stroke our ego. It really does help us move up the ranks as far as the NBA listing of podcasts go. And right now we are in the top 10, so that's pretty awesome. But why don't we go ahead and do some news?
Okay, hold on.
Okay. Let me get... I don't know if I'm not tired today, but my mind's not working as well as I wish it was.
Yeah, we're fine.
So let's see. Keith Smith is a salary cap expert and a contributor for RealGM.
Celtics doing a great job, complete mediocre prospect. Oh, no, I missed your question. I'm sorry. I missed your question. I was going to get to it, Periscope question-y, but I don't remember what it was.
Do you want to go ahead and record an outro?
Yeah, if you want to.
We have 10 minutes. I know we can get that done.
Yeah, we can get an outro done. Okay. Yeah, we still... Oh, man, we have a lot. Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. We'll get it done. Ready? Mm-hmm. So this is the outro to the show.
So thank you, everybody, so much listening for the 3, 2, 1. Thank you, everybody, so much to listening for the 3, 2, 1. And thank you, everybody, so much for listening to the Drive and Dish NBA podcast. Again, Kevin Rayfuse is gone. He is in Boston this week. He'll be back next week. And thank you again so much to Keith Smith for joining us. He's a contributor for RealGM. Make sure you check him out on Twitter at Keith Smith NBA. And if you haven't had a chance yet, please leave us a review on iTunes. We really do appreciate it. And if it's good or funny, we'll read it on.
You can follow us on Twitter, Drive and Dish NBA. At Drive and Dish NBA. Follow us there. You can follow me personally. I'm at Justin C. on the air. You can follow Tim at Radio Tim NBA, and you can follow Kevin at Refuse to Lose. If you don't have an iPhone, you can also follow us on Android apps. We've gotten ourselves on a whole bunch of new ones too, so you can find us there. Google's going to be coming out with a podcasting app, I assume, or
their Google Play Store.
Yeah, their Google Play Store. So you'll be able to find us there. Hopefully soon. I don't know what their timeline is for that, but if not, tune in, Stitcher, Player FM, all the above. Please follow us on there and leave us a review as well.
And something we haven't done in a few weeks now is back. He's putting up a post this Thursday on our website, driveandishpodcast.com. Go out, check out the blog section, and we will have him on next week to talk about it.
Cool. Good. Okay.
I gotta toss out this coffee, man. It is fucking burnt and disgusting.
I hate that it's like they got this new kind and they don't know how to cook it.
No, it's been there for 4 hours. That's why it's burnt.
Oh, well, that too. Well, you know, when it sits on the fryer.
Like, I can't. Holy shit, that's bad.
Alright, so that's the outro. Alright, I'll talk to our Periscope followers while you're out there. What's up, guys? Tim will be right back. Coffee break, you know how it is. Do you think the Celtics prospects... Well, like, which prospects are you talking about? We are going to be talking with Keith in just a little bit, and Smart. I mean, I think he's really good defensively. He's like Rondo. You need that offense. If he can get that offense, I think he could potentially be a top 25 player. You just got to get there, you know? It's like Rubio. He's got these assist numbers, but he can't score, and so that really hurts. That really hurts him. So, like, hopefully he can bring it back around. What do you think about Smart?
I mean, he seems fine.
Yeah.
He kind of, what's with that hair? I can't tell that when I'm watching the Celtics.
Woo!
Shit.
We're good.
He looks a lot like Solinger because they're both kind of bulky and they both have that like yellow hair thing.
Is that like the go-to? Just look like your teammate. So they never. What the hell is going on here? Okay, hold on, guys. We're having some technical difficulties. Give me a second. We're good. There we go. Okay, we're back.
I mean, he's a little bit of a chubwub, right?
Chubwub?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know who I'm really impressed with, like getting fit-wise, is Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, he lost some weight.
He lost a lot of weight. Did you see that compare picture that I put up? Oh, he went from being a little chub to a full-on rock-hard player.
Is that so?
Yep. Hi from Tampa. Hey, man, how's it going? Oh, God, that's funny.
So do you guys listen to the podcast, or are you just random people on Periscope?
Answer. There is a right and a wrong answer to this.
Oh, look, something I can't read from here.
No sizzle with their picks. No franchise guy out of their bunch, right? No, they don't have a franchise. Well, I mean, Celtics don't really have a franchise guy yet. I mean, but the thing is, they have so many picks and so many players that once there is an available one, they can really make a great run at it.
And dude, everybody on the Celtics is good. Everybody, like 1 through 15, it's awesome.
Well, that's one of the questions we're gonna have to ask Keith, is because 1 through 15 is so good, but they have the Mavs and the Timberwolves potential pick and Brooklyn's pick and then their pick. So that's 4 more. Like, what do you do with those 4 players that you're gonna have to replace? Or you got to figure something out.
You try and bundle them, I assume.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to.
So we call Keith.
Do you want to call him? We got 5 minutes. Is he gonna be ready?
We can call him 5 minutes early, right?
I mean, yeah, we can.
Is that something? I don't know what that said.
No, that's just someone else joining in on the watching this stuff.
So that's nice of you to join in.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll call him. Keith, and you have his credentials down so that you can.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to ask him specifically what he wants me to say, but.
All right. So yeah, we'll.
And do you want to throw out the first question of the interview?
Yeah. What do we want to start with? Do you want to start with the picks and get that out of the way and start with then go back into this season, or what do you want to start with? Shooting woes?
No. Let us.
Biggest team facing. We could start with Marcus.
No. Let's start a real broad question.
Do the Celtics make the playoffs?
No. Well, I mean, hold on. It's a little bit early to be doing this.
It's never too early.
Let me go to.
I guess I should have their roster up so we can really look at it.
Yeah.
All right. Celtics. Why is Rudy Gobert Celtics a trending thing? All right, roster Boston Celtics. See, I don't like it like this. Show it like a normal.
Stop.
I like the way ESPN shows teams' rosters where they go by depth. Let's see if I can pull that up because I like that more. They are 6th, 13th, tied for 6th in points allowed. Jesus.
Where are you seeing?
I'm just looking at ESPN. We should always bring that up. What are they going to do defensively? They have so many fucking point guards. Or power forwards, I mean. Jesus. Jay Crowder, Turner. I don't know. What do you want to start with?
Well, first I want to make sure that I guess I'm going to get it loaded up on here.
What?
Because this computer is being a piece of shit, so I don't want to have to deal with that.
Okay.
Celtics.
Give us a second. We're going to get right into it.
Roster.
Careless Thought just started watching. Hello. Welcome. Jonas Jerebko. I think he has
They have a lot of front court.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. Like, when I watch them, it's like, okay, here's 2 new ones. Here's another 2.
They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 front court players. But they have 6 backcourt players, really.
Okay. First question. Celtics are currently sitting in the 5th seed in the East.
Do you want to ask them?
Short sample size. Your thoughts on the start of the season? I don't want to because I'm going to introduce them.
Okay, let me write down the question then so I make sure I get it right.
Okay, I'll ask.
You sure?
Yeah, because I'll just go from intro.
That's what I was thinking. That was my thinking, but okay, we're good. All right, we'll call him now. Let's see.
Smith NBA. At Keith Smith NBA.
Okay, let's make sure our telephone is on. Yep, it is. Okay. Okay, let's pull up his phone number. You guys ready? We're excited. I hope you are too.
I am excited.
I'm tired, man.
I don't know why I'm tired. I got so much sleep last night and I did nothing.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
And I slept in my bed, not on the couch, so that's something.
That's a start.
On Fridays, I usually sleep on my couch.
I almost did last night. I was very close to doing it because of sports. And then I was like, no, I need to go to my bed because I'm going to wake up and my back's hurt. Coffee! Yes! Coffee!
But I love sleeping on my couch.
I do too. My couch is so comfortable.
Right.
What's his name, Keith?
So my couch is really ugly, and I figured out a solution to this.
Oh, yeah?
I'm going to go get a
Just
couch
get
cover.
get a couch cover.
Yeah,
I was going
instead
to
of
say.
buying a new couch.
Hi, Keith. It's Justin and Tim from the Drive and Dish NBA.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good. How are you?
Good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear him, Tim?
I can't. No.
Hold on, let me try. Say something real quick. Let me try turning you up.
Hey, how's it going?
Got him?
Yeah, I can kind of hear.
Okay.
My hearing might just be going out.
Tim might just be losing his hearing.
I might be getting older, Keith. That's the problem here.
All right.
For the best of us.
Yeah, that it does. Okay, so I just want to let you know we pre-record the episode, so if there's anything you say or you just don't want to be in the episode or you stumble over something and want us to take it out, just let us know and we'll do that for you, okay?
All right, sounds good.
Awesome.
And so, Keith, I'm going to list you as a salary cap expert and contributor for RealGM. Is there any other credential you would prefer me to use or to use in addition to that?
No, that works.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All
Hey,
right.
are you on speakerphone right now?
I'm not.
Could you try putting your phone on speakerphone?
Yeah, absolutely. Hang on one second.
I know that does help sometimes.
How's that?
Oh, way better.
Yeah, much better.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, that's way better. Okay.
Me too.
All right. So you ready?
Good to go?
Good to go, Keith. You ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right, cool. We'll get it started.
3, 2, 1. And on the line with us, we have Keith Smith. He is a salary cap expert and contributor for RealGM. You can hit him up, Keith Smith NBA. So, Keith, it is almost Thanksgiving. Do you have the whole entire week off of work?
I do. Thankfully, I've been watching a lot of basketball.
Wait, you really do?
I do, yes.
Oh,
I do too, Tim.
really?
Yeah. You might be the only one. You didn't get
Man.
the memo.
I feel like in radio we don't normally get an entire week off of work, but I was going to say we should start a revolution
Where we all just walk out?
where we all just get a week off for Thanksgiving, but it looks like everybody but myself already has that.
We all have off because of you, Tim.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
So, Keith, you are an expert on the Boston Celtics, and so far this season they have started off 7-5, really respectable. They're the 5th seed out in the East right now. What are your thoughts in the beginning of the season?
I think the Celtics are kind of right where we expected them to be. I don't think they're going to be a 50-win team or anything like that. I think they're slightly above 500, which is more or less what was expected. They've kind of won the games that they should win and hung in there. Other teams, they're kind of right in that middle of the pack in the league, and I think that's what most expected them to be.
Okay, so Isaiah Thomas, he got to start for a few games, I know. And I know he's leading the team in win shares this year. And they drafted Marcus Smart, who they claim is going to be their point guard of the future. What do you see Isaiah Thomas's future with the team? You know, how does he fit with this team's timeline?
I think what the team would like to eventually have happen is Thomas slides back into that six-man primary scorer off the bench role. I think that's where they'd like to see him at. And what happened was Marcus Smart got hurt, missed a couple games, so Thomas had to step in for him. When Smart was ready to come back, Avery Bradley got hurt and missed a couple games, and they kept Thomas in the starting lineup. They've actually played pretty well. And Stevens tends to be a mix-and-match guy with the lineup, Brad Stevens does, so he will go with what's working. So I think ideally, long-term, they would keep Isaiah Thomas. His contract's ridiculously team-friendly.
Mm-hmm.
It actually declines the next couple of years. So for him to be on the team, I think their perfect role would be he's that lead guard off the bench, really gives them that good spark and scores, and goes in kind of into a nice three-guard rotation with Smart and Bradley in the backcourt.
Yeah, I mean, the Celtics got Thomas from the Suns, and I think a lot of Suns fans, including myself, have always just kind of been baffled at how we just gave him away to the Celtics for, basically nothing.
Yeah, that was one of those ones, and I don't know how well known it is, but Danny Ainge made Isaiah Thomas a priority when he was a free agent that year. He went to him right away, and I think Isaiah Thomas was in a spot where he wanted to win, and the Suns were obviously closer at that point than the Celtics were, so he chose the chose the Suns, but the Celtics, never stopped kind of wanting him. He's been a favorite of Ainge for a long time, and when the opportunity was there, they went and got him, and it was one of those ones where it felt like for me the Suns went from, two kind of point guards who shared the backcourt, then they added Thomas, it didn't really work, and then they got rid of two of them right away, so I don't know that I fully understood that either.
No, it's just kind of strange because you could get Brandon Knight, I think, at $15 million, or you could get Isaiah Thomas at $8 million. So I do think Brandon Knight is an upgrade to Thomas. Which one would you rather have at the price? And Brandon Knight's playing really well this season, but regardless, we're in here to talk about the Suns. One thing that we put this up on Reddit, and we asked Celtics Reddit fans specifically what they wanted us to ask you. And a question that just kept coming up over and over and over again. Well, a couple of them, but one especially was, so you guys have the Nets pick.
Yeah.
Trade it. What's the move with that pick?
Oh, gee, that's a tough one. I think so this is where Celtics fans are. There's one side or the other. There's completely black and white is what I found. Celtics fans either want to go for it, go all in, push for the playoffs, and do what they can this year to be the best possible team. And then you have the flip side that wants to double down and really, we're not going to win the title anyway, so let's really go after raising those picks up. And I think what you're seeing happen now is people are starting to dream of Ben Simmons. Mm-hmm. And that is, with how just awful the Nets have been, and the Celtics stopped them last night really, really bad, which is almost like 2 wins for a Celtics fan at this point. So you've got a lot of people who are dreaming. For me personally, what I think the team should do, stay the course. Keep the pick. There's nothing wrong with being that kind of middle-of-the-road playoff team. Maybe maybe if the matchup falls right, you can be able to win in the first round, and then add a super talent in the draft, and roll with it, because I don't think you're going to get a return on value on that pick. Now, the boatload of other picks they have, I'm a proponent of what Ainge has done. And Danny Ainge has said, I'm going to take the Houston Rockets model. I'm going to pile up assets, whether it be in terms of talented young players or picks, and when that superstar comes available, I'm going to pounce, and I'm going to go after it. And I think that's where I would push for that one. But that next pick, that's starting to reach almost untouchable for me.
Right, and so so when that question was asked on the Reddit thread that we started, people then started chiming in saying, the Celtics have 15 players that you could argue should be on the team. They're playing pretty well. And then there's the chance that they get the Mavs and the Timberwolves pick too. So they were saying, what do you do? Do you try to trade some players away? Do you go for international players that, like the Sixers did, that might take 2 years to get here so that you don't have to worry about, this logjam of players? And will they get the right return for those players? What do you think they should do if they do end up getting those picks as well?
Yeah, and that's the challenge, right? They do have 15 legit NBA players, or what I'll term NBA prospects, because guys like James Young, Jordan Mickey, Terry Rozier, the young guys at the end of the bench, they haven't shown enough that you can say that they're truly an NBA player, but the potential's there.
Mm-hmm.
So what's really going on with the team is they're filled with guys who are probably best suited to be the 5th to 8th best guy on a playoff team. They don't have that one true superstar ready to step in, carry the team, and be that alpha dog, which we see
right.
Every championship contender needs that. So for me, I think what you're ultimately going to see happen is you're going to see Danny Ainge start packaging players and picks to try and get better. It may not be right into the superstar, but he may take a couple of his picks and a couple of the young players, get that next tier down,
mm-hmm.
and then I wouldn't be surprised to see him flip that guy that he gets into somebody else. We've all seen he has no real attachments to guys. He'll pick them and then send them off. I mean, last year some guys felt like they were on the roster for a week. He traded for them, and then before we even knew their jersey number by heart, they were shipped off to another deal somewhere else.
Right, and well, another option that people had been, I guess, referencing is that they could move some people down into the D League, but then other people were getting worried that might hurt their trade value. If the Celtics start moving some players down into the D League just so that they can keep them for maybe trade assets or future playing time, do you think that could hurt their worth, I guess?
Yeah, I think it depends on what they do in the D League, right? If they go down there and they're terrible, well, then you really have to start questioning what their value is. But I look at a guy like James Young. He made the trip back and forth from Boston to Maine about like 50 times last year. It was about every other day they sent him down. Anytime there was a game for Maine, James Young was down there. It looks like they're going a similar path with Jordan Mickey and Terry Rozier, along with Young again this year. The three of them, I want to say it's already been 4 or 5 times they've been assigned down to Maine. And they've done okay. James Young had a big game last night down there. Rozier's done okay. Jordan Mickey played fairly well. The one young guy who's not going is R.J. Hunter, because he's stuck with the Maine club because they needed shooting. The unfortunate part where I found is what some folks don't understand is when you assign a player to the D League, it doesn't free up a roster spot. You still are stuck on that 15-man roster. So that's a proponent of trying, to not get too deep into the salary cap and CBA world. That's something I love. But that's one thing some people have said is they'd like to see it where maybe you have a 20-man roster on the NBA, but 5 players are inactive or in the D League at any given time or something to that extent. And I think as the more and more young talent comes in the league, there's something to be said for that. So, but that's going to be the game they're going to play all year long. They're going to send those young guys down there so that they can get game experience. Because the reality is there's just not enough minutes to go around. They've got 11 guys already that they're trying to get minutes for on the roster right now, and Tyler Zeller's been completely squeezed out of that. So really, Stevens is pitching with kind of 10 guys and running it. So there's just not minutes for real, true game action.
So you just said Maine. Is that where the Celtics D-League team is?
It is, yeah. It's up in Maine. Yep, the Maine Red Claws.
Where in Maine?
I think I want to say it's in Orono, but I'm not entirely sure.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I used to live in Maine a couple of times. You were just talking about the salary, you being a salary cap expert right there, and that's really your main potage. What is the long-term health of the Celtics salary situation?
It's pretty close to the top of the league, in my opinion. They really have no bad contracts. David Lee, obviously, getting paid a lot. He's making a shade over $15 million, almost $15.5 million this year, but he's an expiring contract. And with the cap exploding next year, all the way up to $89 million is what the projection is, you could see the Celtics somewhere around, reasonably around probably $40 million or so in space, maybe a little bit less than that, 30 or so. They're going to have the space to chase a max free agent. They can get far more than that if they make other moves, if they decide not to retain a guy like Jared Sullinger, who's going to be a restricted free agent, things like that. They have those options there, as well as all the picks that they have coming. So they've got that ability long-term without that. And they just got locked up on contracts that are just ridiculously team-friendly at this point. Isaiah Thomas being one of them. He makes 6.9 this year. It's a declining contract down to about 6.5 or 6 next year, and then about 6.3 the year after that. David Bradley's locked in at just over $8 million for next season. And then they have Jay Crowder, who was really just a throw-in in the Rondo trade last year, who's making he'll make around 6, a little over 6, and then finishes out. But they have him locked in for the next 4 years, and the deal doesn't even top out. It only tops out rather at $7.8 million. So, which when you start projecting where we're headed, $7.8 million is going to be under probably the average salary in the league by the time we get that point. And Jay Crowder is going to be a really solid player. He's the kind of player all good teams have.
Oh, I love Jay Crowder. He's a DeMar Carroll-esque PJ Tucker type player that I completely agree with you, Keith. I think every good team should have. But so going into this next season, you just mentioned how David Lee's on an expiring deal, and at some point, I'm all about David Lee being on the team. I really do think that veteran leadership and having a point forward sort of, he's a really great passer for a big man, is really important to a team for a lot of different reasons. But are they going to have trouble hitting the floor, the salary floor?
I don't think they will have trouble hitting the floor because they'll overpay someone if they need to. I looked at what they did with Amir Johnson. A lot of eyebrows were raised when he got a $12 million contract for this year. He's also signed for $12 million next year, but it's fully non-guaranteed. They can release him with no repercussions on that, which makes him an extremely tradable piece as well to a team. So he's essentially a de facto expiring contract. But the reason why they went that much was they wanted the player, and it was an opportunity to overpay a little. I think that's what they'll do again. There's a guy they really want. What Danny Ainge won't do is he's not going to lock into a 4 or 5 year contract with somebody for big dollars who's in for a year or maybe even 2 years with just where the cap's sitting. They'll get there. You're going to see that happen, I think, across the league next year. I think people are going to take, if every year at the beginning of July we see those first few contracts and there's what is going on? Why did so-and-so get so much money? And you really get wondering about it. But then as you see the rest of the deals start to slot in, they all start to make sense. And that's going to be what's going to happen this summer, but to a real extreme extent.
I'm worried that there's not going to be enough players for the amount of money.
Yeah, you're 100% right. Some guys are going to get 10 plus million that we're going to be really wondering what happened there.
Well, okay, Keith. So we're talking about cap situation and stuff like that, and I guess can you explain what's going to happen with the cap situation for the average NBA fan? Put it in layman's terms for them.
Sure. So what happened was the NBA signed these new giant TV contracts with ESPN and TNT, and ABC is part of the ESPN group. And they're going to be flush with money, like we've never seen before. And what the owners tried to do, and Adam Silver was, they said, hey, rather than go through these massive over a couple years, and the Players Association basically said no, which they should have on behalf of their players. They should have said, no, we want our money and we want it when it's due to us. So what you're going to see happen is, right now the salary cap is at $70 million for this year, flat $70 million. Projection for next year is $89 million. So that is a huge jump, a $19 million jump. That's almost a max contract, under today's world for a lot of guys. And then the following year, the projection is $108 million, so another $19 million jump. So you're going to see almost a $40 million jump in the span of 2 years. So that's going to lead into a lot of guys getting a lot of money. And then things like max contracts are based off of, in effect, a percentage of the cap. So you're going to see those start to rise. A guy like Kevin Durant, he may get $25 million in his first year, or even more. If he signs a 1-and-1, he could get over $30 million the year after. So you're going to see it just explode in terms of it. And it's just, with all that available money, some guys are going to get paid that probably shouldn't get paid that, but it's just resetting that new normal in your mind on what it looks like.
And my understanding is that the rookie contracts, though, those aren't going to jump. Those are going to remain the same, which makes those even more valuable. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah, they're going to be almost comically low as we go into the new the new world here. The rookie scale did not reset. That's something we expect to see addressed. As you're probably well aware, the NBA and the Players Association are already talking about the collective bargaining agreement. There's opportunities for I am on the lockout optimist side. I think everybody knows things are too good here, but I do think we're going to see some minor work stoppage. I don't think it will result in any missed games or anything like that, but it's just almost a necessity for the way the mechanics of it work. I think they'll go in, they'll renegotiate. I think you're going to see the rookie scales get bumped. Things like the mid-level exception, those are also unaffected by the cap jump. So you're really seeing those numbers just so low that they're going to be, at a point where guys are going to be able to get more than that. It's just a regular contract without a team having to use an exception.
Okay, well, let's bring it back to the Celtics, since we hit the salary cap pretty well. One of the Reddit questions, I like this question because probably, I'm not the biggest fan of the Celtics because I'm a Sixers fan, so I just see them.
You're butthurt about them rebuilding well.
No, I'm butthurt about the Nets destroying the Sixers' future, kind of in a way that the Celtics are just going to be hitting their peak probably around the same time. But one of my favorite players on the Celtics is Kelly Olynyk. I really like the dude. And the other day he tried to hit a Dirk move, the one-legged fadeaway on Dirk. So one of our Reddit questions was, do you think Olynyk will ever be able to get that on him? But I think that just brings it into my, back to my question is the team really high on Olynyk right now? Are they excited for him?
They are. They anytime you hear anybody from the team, whether it be Danny Ainge or Brad Stevens or one of the assistant coaches, they always talk about Olynyk having such a unique skill set. He's actually a really good ball handler and passer. It's probably because he's kind of skinny and he's got that long hair and he gets bounced around, but he's 7 feet tall. He's very much almost a point center at this point, which is something that's great to have, especially as the league's going smaller. Still needs a lot of work on his defense. He still gets pushed around by guys. Dirk even bullied him a couple times in that game you referenced, which is, at this point, if you're getting bullied by Dirk, you really got to think about things. But he did throw that move at Dirk, and Dirk, I think, even went to Twitter afterwards. That was cold-blooded. You threw my own move at me.
Right.
So I think they love the fact that Olynyk can do a lot of things offensively. The biggest thing for him is his confidence. If you watch a Celtics game on League Pass and you listen to Tommy Heinsohn, he almost wants him to shoot it every time he touches it, just to show confidence. But there's something to that. He last year, the biggest difference between him this year and last year he passed up shots that were very makeable for him. This year he's taking them right in stride, not seeing them, but he's putting the ball on the floor and going to the hoop a little bit more. So I think when you start, there's a natural inclination to start comparing him to Jared Saunders, who's the team's other young big man. And I think there's a lot of people who have decided the Celtics can only have one or the other. And I think because Olynyk's obviously under team control a year longer, but I think that's the direction they're heading. just because his skill set is so well-rounded on it.
Well, and I know they had a video of Olenek. I think it was Amir Johnson narrating, but they had a video of Olenek trying to eat a Moe's burrito in 4 bites. So they're definitely trying to make him, gain that weight so that he can bully some of the bigs down low. But
yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
it was pretty good.
I mean, the great thing about the Celtics, and I'm not a Celtics fan. I'm a Suns fan, like I said, but it's really fun to watch the Celtics because. Everyone points out that they don't have that one player, but they have 10, 11, 12 guys that they just they play 20 minutes a night and they just keep throwing fresh legs on the floor all game long. And you'll see these really cool lineups in their front court between their bigger players. And I'm just being somebody that hasn't watched as many Celtics games, what is the most effective front court lineup that they have right now? Is it Amir and Lee? Is it Olenek and Lee? Is it Jerebko and Solinger? Like, what is the most effective front court lineup that the Celtics have?
So I promise I'm not doing a cop-out on you, but it really depends on what you're looking for. They've transitioned to really over the last, I want to say almost 8, 9, 10 games to Johnson and Solinger are the starters. And it's because they needed a little bit more defense. Tyler Zeller just wasn't getting it done. There was just something was off with his game early in the year. He started the first couple games and then went to the bench. So they've gone to Johnson and Solinger. Amir Johnson's the only big who played really any defense out of that group. Solinger's been doing better, but he's very much a positional defender. He's not going to get you any blocks or anything like that. So when the need is for defense, that's what they'll go with. When they need a little bit of spark and a little bit more offense, that's when they turn to Lee and Olenek. And the nice thing is with all four of them are very good passers. I would say all four of them are underrated passers, which is huge in Brad Stevens' system. Everybody needs to be able to handle the ball and pass the ball. So now that leads to occasionally Solinger likes to throw about 40-foot bounce passes that never seem to connect. So that's not I don't think that's the preferred method. But so right now, it's Johnson and Solinger are probably the best two together. And they've been getting a lot of minutes together to start games. But whenever they need that offensive punch or they need to, he goes right to Lee and Olenek. And even Zeller started to get a few more minutes here and there, which is nice to see because he is still a good young player, also a restricted free agent this year. A lot of teams were high on him this summer. So it is really to the point where we are, we want to, make sure they're doing, kind of the right things. With him as well, getting him a few minutes so he can get out there and rebound and that. But at this point, he's the fifth guy in a 4-big rotation.
I've never been a Zeller, any of the Zeller. Just none of them seem to really develop in the league. But, I mean, are you personally a Solinger guy?
For me, I'm not. I worry that he's never going to get it, that it's never going to be serious enough for him. There were all this talk all off the right? It's always, you hit media day and everybody lost either 10 pounds or gained 10 pounds of muscle, right? So with Solinger, it was, he gained, or lost all this weight and he's so redefined. Different.
He's kind of a chubbo.
Yeah, he is, and it's funny. After all those years watching Big Baby, to me at this point, he's just a better version of Big Baby. But I'm coming around on him. He has played really well this year. The biggest thing he's done is whether he's lost weight or not, he has improved his conditioning. He's getting up and down the floor a little bit. He's really hitting the boards. And the biggest thing he's not doing this year was, last year he fell in love with the jump shot, whether it be from 15, 18 feet all the way up to the three-point line. And one of the worst things you wanted was for him to make the first one, because then you knew another 4 or 5 were going up. And this year, he's actually attacked the basket a little bit more. He does still make the really crazy passes occasionally, but he's been better. So starting to come around on him, but I see him more as, I don't know how much money I want to invest in him long term this summer as a restricted free agent.
Well, and so that was actually, Solinger was a lot of the topics that were mentioned on the Reddit thread that we started, a lot of people were saying, can Sullinger be like a poor man's Draymond Green? And then someone commented, it wouldn't be a poor man's, it'd be a homeless man's Draymond Green. And then someone cropped that out and said, no, Kevin Love. And then we also had a Twitter follower, one of our good listeners, Neto Carter, wanted to know, what future does Sullinger have on this team? And so do you think Sullinger can develop into a homeless person's...
It kind of sounds like he said that Keith said that they're moving more towards retaining Olynyk. Is that correct, Keith?
Yeah, that's what it seems like. It seems like Olynyk is more of a fit. I honestly think Tyler Zeller is more likely to be given a contract in the offseason than Sullinger, only from the standpoint of, without taking it all the way back to the Cavs, there's so much money this summer. Someone's going to hit Sullinger with a big offer. And while the Celtics have the rights to match any offer he gets as a restricted free agent, I just don't know that that's going to be where they're going to want to invest a lot of money. Someone's going to throw a bunch of money at him, and I'm just not sure if the Celtics want to be the team to do that.
Well, it's probably a good move considering the log jam they have there, and I agree with you. I'm just not a huge Sullinger guy myself. One of our blog editor, Griffin Conley, in the last coach one we have for you, Keith, because we know how much of your time we're taking up this morning, he wants to know that ways that Brad Stevens can mitigate Isaiah Thomas's defensive liabilities, especially on pick and roll coverage in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that was a huge problem in the playoffs versus Cleveland last year. Cleveland attacked him on every possession. So some of the things that they've done a little bit is the occasion they try to hide him on a player who's less involved in action. They actually did that against Oklahoma City. So he ended up covering
Roberson,
however you say it, quite a bit out there. So I know that's I've had many conversations with Oklahoma City fans who, either seem to love or hate that guy. But
dude, why is he starting?
Because you don't know. Oh gosh, okay, don't get.
Oh man, I didn't nerve, huh?
Well, they have Morrow, they have Waiters, and I'm not huge on either of those guys, but I'm just saying players don't guard him. He'll be over on the weak side, and players come all the way to the strong side.
Tim, they use him on the defense.
It's 5-on-4. It doesn't make sense.
All right.
Yeah, without deviating from the Isaiah Thomas question, I think it's there's only one basketball,
right?
And with Westbrook and Durant, there's not an opportunity for a lot of other guys to get it. So I think that I'm kind of in the camp of when you throw a guy out there who's a pretty good defender, really good rebounder. He was actually a power forward in college, and which probably explains why he can't shoot a lick, but he is. I think he's okay. But back on Isaiah, so that's one of the things they do. They try to hide him a little. They've actually, in the last few games, they've gone to zone more often, which helps a little bit there. With that, they'll use him occasionally as he becomes a designated doubler. So whenever they're going to send a double team or a trap, he's the guy who goes and leaves his man. That's happened quite a bit. I think the biggest thing, and we're to go all the way back to what we said before, I think the team would like to play him against reserves more minutes rather than versus starters. Because when he's playing against the reserve and he's going against those backup point guards, the deficiencies aren't quite there as much. I think it's going to be a problem the later you get into the season, especially with playoffs, when things become a lot more schematic than it is, night to night. Night to night, you can kind of figure it out and just go with it. When you're playing the same team, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, you're going to see teams find ways to find him, seek him out, and attack that matchup. And the Celtics just have to roll with it and hope that what he brings them on the other end of the court is enough to offset what they lose with him on defense.
Well, Keith, we really appreciate your time. So you are a contributor for RealGM. Where can people check out your work?
RealGM right now is where everything is up. You got a piece going up soon related to what we're talking about, where the salary cap is headed. Okay. It's all about, just how much money's out there and what teams are carrying what for contracts and those things. I've got a couple future pieces. Most of what I do is written with events. I'm looking at roster construction. I'm that guy who likes to, get in there and play with rosters and what if this guy was on this team and those kind of things. So that's the angle I take most times with that. So I've got quite a few pieces up on RealGM about that. We have a cool project called the CBA Encyclopedia as part of RealGM, and I'm a contributor to that. Danny LaRue started that whole project over there, and it's really great. It's a way to break down the CBA and all the complexities in an easy to understand thing. One of my pieces that I contributed was all about player options and team options and non-guaranteed contracts and what are the differences. What does that mean? And we try to break it down in a way that anybody can read it and like, okay, that makes sense to me now. Because reading the CBA, if you're ever having trouble sleeping one night, pick that thing up and you'll be out like the light.
I mean, I just got to tell you that people like us, myself, Kevin, and Justin, we really appreciate what you, Danny, and Nate all do for the NBA media family, if you will, being able to break down that, because it's so hard to cover the NBA and try and cover all of the salary cap situation. So we really do applaud your effort on that. We'd love to have you back on the show anytime. Again, we've been talking to Keith Smith. You can follow him on Twitter at Keith Smith NBA. Keith, thank you so very much and enjoy your Thanksgiving.
Thanks, guys. You too. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Hey, enjoy your day off, Justin, or your days off, Justin. Those late night West Coast games are a lot easier to tolerate.
Yeah, when you don't have to be up at like 5 in the morning, it's gonna be great.
Absolutely, yeah. I hope to actually catch the Warriors live instead of half live and then half the next day.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, we all work in radio, so we all work at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm a Phoenix Suns fan, like I said, and I think I've seen 1 or 2 games live this entire season because I have to watch them the next day. There's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, being an East Coast NBA fan or part of the group that covers the NBA, it's not an easy thing. It's it can be kind. It's a lot of late nights, especially if you're trying to get anything done on deadline. One of those West Coast games goes into overtime and you're immediately just shaking your head.
Oh, dude, I got home from the bar one night. It was 12:45. I turned on League Pass, and there were still like 3 games going.
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Thankfully, this year, since you've got Golden State, is pretty good because on a lot of watching the Lakers, boy, that gets painful.
You fall asleep pretty quick. I hardly make it through the 8 o'clock games. I get to like halftime, and then I wake up the next day, and my alarm's going off, and I'm like, oh, darn it.
Yep, yeah. I have a lot of that next day regret.
Yep.
I shouldn't have stayed up quite that late. So, guys, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. Have a great Thanksgiving. I'm happy to come back anytime you want to.
All right, thank you
Awesome.
so much.
Thank you so much, Keith.
Thank you.
Hey, Keith.
Yeah.
Hey, we really would like to have you on, maybe in like a month or so, to talk about the Magic.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, happy to do it.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We will post this up on Monday, and we'll send you all the appropriate links and all of that. And have a great weekend.
Yeah, that's great. I'll do. I mean, so hopefully I've got a kind of pathetic Twitter following amount, so I'm hoping this will give me a bump.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Well, we appreciate your time. You sounded great, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, guys. We appreciate it. Have a great day.
You
Bye.
too.
He was good.
Oh, yeah, it was really good. You're at 10%.
Cool. We'll stop it.
All right. Bye, guys.